Good? Okay. My name is Haley Perez, and today my presentation is about how women supporting women can change the world. To start off, I kind of just wanted to go over some facts about the weight loss industry. So as you see here, the weight loss industry is a $72 billion industry, so that's a lot of money that they are bringing in. And the weight loss industry includes weight loss shakes, it includes like gym memberships, it includes selling like workout programs, diet like programs, apps about like weight loss. So it encompasses a lot of things, but altogether it makes up about $72 billion, which is a lot of money. And it's reported that every year 45 million Americans are doing some kind of dieting throughout the year. And out of those 45 million Americans, only 5 out of every 100 of them are actually going to see success from this diet. So I think that these numbers tell a big story and they say a lot. To me, it shows us that the weight loss industry is not built on people's success, it's built on people's insecurities, and it's built on people's failure. If people were successful in the weight loss industry, it would not be as big as it is, because they're banking on people needing to come back, because only 5% of people are going to succeed at their diets that they start, and they're going to continue to get more apps, to buy more meal plans, to get more meal replacements, so forth, to buy a gym membership. And so it's not really built on like people actually succeeding or benefiting from weight loss. And I personally have been affected by that, and I think my family has as well. So this is some of the women in my family. This is me. This is my mom, Amy, and this is my stepmom, Liz. This is my grandma, my mom's mom, Valerie. This is my dad's mom, Bertha, and this is my stepmom's mom, Michelle, and this is my sister Isabel, my sister Gabriella, and my sister Sophia. All of these women have impacted my life a lot. I think that they're all really strong and beautiful women and have taught me a lot. And they're all super different. They all come from different places. They all have different career paths, different interests, different hobbies. But there is one thing that I think that they all have in common, and that is struggling with weight loss. It's struggling with their self-image, struggling with loving themselves. And I don't think that this is unique to just my family. I think that anybody could look at their family tree, look at the women and men that are in their lives, and see how they've been impacted by this diet culture. And when I say diet culture, I mean the world where we live in, where we're fascinated with people's weights, with people's bodies. It's what we're always talking about celebrities, like, oh my gosh, Adele just lost like all this weight. Like that's what we're talking about, not new music that she's producing or a child that she's had. Like weight is really important to us, and we're constantly being shown by the media what our ideal body should look like. And so we're obsessed with dieting, with trying to chase after that ideal body. So I think this weight loss culture has definitely affected my family, and it's personally affected me. This is a picture of me when I was 5 years old, and for the first time in my life, I remember distinctly saying that I thought that I was fat out loud. It was because I realized that when I sat down that my thighs touched each other, which is a normal thing, and I was not a fat child. I was definitely averagely sized. But at already 5 years old, I understood that everybody was supposed to have this ideal body type and was supposed to look a certain way, and I was really scared of not looking a certain way and being considered fat. Like that would be a scary, bad thing to be. And it's something that didn't stop there at 5 years old. It's something that I'm now 22 years old and still struggle with on a daily basis, and will probably struggle with for the rest of my life. But about a year ago, I got married, and when you get married, I think just a lot of your problems that were your own personal problems become you and your spouse's problems. And that was definitely like my body image was something that I carried personally with myself and hadn't talked about to a lot of people, but then it just got brought up as I was married, and is something for the last year that I feel like I've had to face a lot more head on. Problems that I've had since I was 5 years old, feelings that I've dealt with since then, but now I'm really like confronting them. And I've seen a big shift in myself and how I think about myself and how I talk about myself, how I think about other women and talk about other women, because I've had to realize that there's a problem like in our society, and it's not my fault, and there's nothing wrong with my body that I have. I don't need to lose any weight. I am a healthy person and I do take care of myself, and I should not exercise or diet from a place of self-hatred. I should do it from a place of love. I should exercise because I love my body and I want to take care of my body. I want to be strong, and eating the same thing. And once I realized that that was passed on to me generation to generation. That photo that I showed of all of those women in my family, there's 3 generations in that photo, and all of them have been impacted by this diet culture. And I decided I wanted to be the last link in the chain. I don't want to pass that down to my children, and so I decided that I needed to start with me personally, changing my mindset and how I feel about my body. And I think that we can be the generation that stops diet culture. I think that it starts with us as individuals. It starts with us loving ourselves and the way we talk to ourselves, the way we treat our body, the way we talk about our body. That gets passed down to our kids. Whether we verbally like do it to them or not, they're going to absorb that, because I absorbed that from my mom. And I know that that's not something she wanted to pass on to me or was a conscious thing, but it happened. And I know that if I don't take control of the way that I talk about myself, that it also will be passed down to my kids. I think that as a culture, we need to stop associating the word fat with unhealthy and skinny with healthy. Fat should not be a derogatory word. It shouldn't be an insult to say to somebody, just like skinny shouldn't be a compliment to somebody. They're simply just words describing the shape of our bodies, and it doesn't necessarily reflect anything that's going on inside of our bodies. Being a plus size person does not mean you're not exercising, you're not taking good care of yourself, just like being skinny does not mean you're also you're not like, or you are exercising or not taking care of yourself. And I think that we need to change that for ourselves, our own mindset, and as a society change that mindset. And I think that if we do, it can make a huge impact on the world and ultimately stop this diet culture if we change the meaning of those words and all the negative or positive like connotation that comes with them. And so kind of to end this off, I just wanted to share a quote from Lizzo. She's an artist that she's plus size. And I think she's a wonderful example of body positivity and loving yourself. She's a very big advocate for that and talks a lot about it, and is all about loving yourself, and being plus size is okay, and she's healthy. And so this is a quote that I really love that she says, I don't think that loving yourself is a choice. I think it's a decision that has to be made for survival. It was in my case. Loving myself was the result of answering 2 things. Do you want to live? Because this is who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Or are you going to just have a life of emptiness, self-hatred, and self-loathing? And I chose to live, so I had to accept myself. And I think that each of us also have those same decisions to face if we're going to live or if we're going to live a life hating ourselves. And I think we can all choose to live and love ourselves. And I think that if we do, that we as women and as men can change the world by supporting each other and stopping being the last generation of having a diet culture. And that is my presentation.